2020, during 2020, what happened is that he was laid off work, and then before the year ended, he had spent all his savings on rent, on food, on taking kids to school and all that kind of stuff. So it so happened that he reached out to a couple of guys, like calling them, explaining his situation in Nini. There are a few guys came through, but most didn't come through. So unfortunately, the guy passed on. And the most unfortunate thing about this story is that after he had passed on, so many guys actually came out and contributed. They actually contributed to the tune of over 1.5 million. And then this is a guy who was, when he was still alive, the only thing that he needed was just a little 1,000 or 200, just to buy food and to have that food security so that he can actually continue, hustling and looking for cash. But then once he had passed on because of hunger, like really, that's when guys came out to try and help, and like this guy, I knew this guy was good, all that kind of stuff. So it's good if we actually come out and help people during the time of need. And one of the best way I say is to have good memories and to actually record those memories. That's actually where now the video part comes in. When you're still alive, do you spend time with your family? Do you spend time, doing the things that you love doing, or are you always busy looking for money? Because at the end of the day, once everything is said and done, the one thing that you remain with is your family. Don't get me wrong. The one thing that you always remain with is your family. So what do you do when you're with your family? The best way of doing this is, take photos, take videos, just to remember the good times. As well, like parents say, you never know how fast kids grow, and the best way of doing it is to keep memories. So grab yourself a camera and let's shoot. Let's shoot those birthdays, let's shoot those graduations, those fun moments when you are out as a family, when you go to reserve to see our grandparents and stuff. Because there's really never enough time to enjoy other people's company and to enjoy as a family other than the present. So if the present really counts, then my advice is get shooting. We all have phones which I believe can take photos, can take videos. So you need to start shooting now. You need to start recording those memories now. And the good part is, once you have shot those videos, those photos, keep them in a folder, name them by the year and the month. Because you really never know when you might actually need to just remember when this event happened, when so and so was here, when all those kind of things were happening. So what I'd say is, grab yourself a camera. So enough about that. Now let's get to the serious bit. How did I get to where I am today? And how can you, on the other side, if you're looking to start doing video, how and where do you start? For me, like my good video guy has told me, Kafa Shia, John Kafa Shia, if you ever see this guy, big up to him. So Kafa Shia, salute. Now, what happened is, how I got to where I am is, it was actually by, I wouldn't say accident, but it was by design, because I was trying to solve a problem using photos. I'm an interior designer by profession. That's what I do. For those of you who didn't know, surprise! So I started taking photos because, well, I'm good at what I do. Like, don't get me wrong, I am really good at what I do. And I didn't like the kind of images that some of the clients were taking and saying that I did them. So what I did is I started taking photos of interiors for the main contractors and project managers, and also for the clients. But more so, it wasn't for them, it was for me to keep a record of work that I have done and what I am capable of doing. So that's how I ended up to where I am. Now, if you start shooting video, or if you're looking to start shooting videos, this is my advice. Advice number one is, make sure that you know exactly why you're shooting. Are you just shooting for fun, meaning anything and everything goes, or are you shooting to solve a particular problem? Now, if you're thinking of doing it full time, I would say get shooting with the end in mind. like it doesn't really matter where your goal is. But the most important thing is that you need to start now. If say you are in communications in an NGO that you deal with, let's say, girls, okay, so what you need to do is that you know that your aim is to highlight the plight within the girl child. So that's what you need to do. That needs to be your end goal, and that needs to be the driving force behind you taking videos. If say you are more into food and health, then you know that that is the end goal. You need to start shooting now, and that should be your driving force, and you need to start focusing and getting information about it. And the advantage is that if you're passionate about something, it means you already have part of the information. So it's just a matter of now recording and showing people the same information that you already know. Okay, because video is really good because one, it gives you an audio and visual reality of what is happening on the ground. Plus, you also get to share with people your passion, and you get to show people what you see and how you think and tell other people's story through audio visual. And like in photography, where you can basically just communicate the emotion behind the picture, but you cannot really tell the full story unless now it's written. With video, you have the advantage of actually telling the full story over and over again. So if you want to start shooting video, one thing is, what is the bigger picture? What problem or what thing are you trying to solve? Because I believe other than fun, is always the bigger picture is to show entertainment, because that is actually something that you need to show people. You need to show people that well, you can decide as a blogger, you can decide to start off as a blogger and show people, you know what, this is how I live, this is how I roll, this is where I party, this is how I cook, this is how I do ABCD. Good and perfect start. But what and where do you start? Because that is normally the biggest question is, what and where do I actually start in this? And most people will start from their phone. Do you have a phone? Yes. Most people will start with their phones, and then now you will now need to graduate now to cameras. You don't need to graduate to cameras. And I basically have what I would call an entry-level selection of cameras for you to choose from, in case you are looking now, like at the back of your head, you knew that I need a camera to start shooting, and where do I start? Then basically this is the family of cameras I would advise you to consider. So we have got a Nikon B500. Okay, the Nikon B500 is it's actually the most pocket friendly of these all. It goes for 30,000 plus VAT. Okay, so this good camera, it has got a very interesting screen of them all. Okay, so this is the screen, and then now the advantage of this is that the lens, it has, this is what we call a compact lens. So you won't need to buy any other lens ever for this camera, because the lens already is fixed, and you can zoom up to, actually this is okay, you can shoot up to 900 mm. 900 mm is just know it's far. Okay, for lack of a better word, just know it's far. You can actually go with this camera and record videos of wildlife in the park, and somebody with a professional camera won't actually get close to where you can get with this, because the zoom on this thing is a beast. Like this thing is a full beast. And then remember one thing, it's a full HD. When you're looking for a camera, is you're looking for something that you can actually shoot probably at a higher ratio than what you would eventually end up with, what do you call it? You would end up getting as a final product, so that now you shoot it at a higher scale, then now you scale it down a bit, so that now you even get a clearer and better quality. But then now in the future, if you need to get a better quality image, you can always go to the raw footage and retrieve it. So all of this you can shoot in full HD, just so you know. All of this you can shoot in full HD. Now the only difference is part and parcel of some of the things that you can get. Because the thing with this camera is it uses AA batteries. Okay, so you see it uses 4 AA batteries, which is really not, like if you're shooting for long, then this would probably be the best take for you. But then it's a really good startup, because you're basically just a hobbyist, or it's for family events. You know, when you go on vacation, Mombasa, you go vacation, ama mnaenda tu outing, camping, you know, mko Naivasha na mabesti, you know, you've taken a Subaru, mnaenda all the way to the Tok, you've gone to, where else? To Lake Turkana. That's a place I need to visit, and I will be back in mind you. So this is a good camera to just have and take it with you, because then now this is a camera that, again, you do not share it. It is a family camera. Okay, so this is a good camera you start out with, and then now you can scale up to the next level, which probably would be the 2000D. This is a 2000D. Now this is an entry-level DSLR camera, perfect for you as an entry level. Okay, this is more for the family. This is more for family outing and everything. Then this is now you're in between. Will photography really work out for me? It won't work out for me. So it actually gives you the option of the professional mode settings, okay, as well as it gives you the option of changing the lenses. So you can basically just scale up the lens depending on what you're shooting. But then this is what we call a kit lens. This is an 1855. So this camera actually comes with an 1855 lens, and right now I believe we have this on offer. So right now, if you just buy it as it is, you get it at 46. But then come to the shop, and then we'll tell you what the offer is. It also has a tripod, comes with a memory card, comes with a bag, and all. Now, I was talking about this. The advantage of this is that you can take really good still photos, and you can still take video, and its audio clarity is so on point, you know. And then now the advantage is that you can scale up in what you're doing when you're using this. Then now the other thing you need to do is, once you have bought the camera, you also need to consider buying a memory card. Yes, your footage and happy. You know, like once you have shot, where will the footage go? So you need to buy a memory card and also a tripod or a monopod, so that you get really good, nice still images. And then we have got this small beast. Okay, this is an M200. It looks small, okay, because this is an upgrade of this. Okay, this is an upgrade of this, in my opinion. One, this is a mirrorless camera. It has got a bigger screen compared to this. Okay, it has got a bigger screen, and it basically this is basically, well, I'm calling it an upgrade, but in actual sense it might not be, depending on how you want to shoot. But then this is good also for a hobbyist. So this and this I'll put in the same category, but then I still consider, keyword, this is my opinion, I still consider this an upgrade of this on if you're a hobbyist and you are not yet sure on exactly what you want to do, because then it gives the option of taking photos immediately with it, and then it also gives you like a manual almost professional touch kind of images, and also you can shoot video with it. So then this is much easier and less conspicuous if you're walking in the streets, or you are, say, in a place where they really do not allow cameras. You do not hear me say that. Then this is much easier to sneak in with. I did not say anything. Okay, so now this is a good camera for you to actually pick. This is the M200, really good camera, as well as comes with a rechargeable battery. So that is the slot for the rechargeable battery, really handy. And it still shoots HD, and you can also stream. You can also do live stream with it. Okay. Now you can also do, and then you can also scale this up and change the lens if need be. So you can actually buy another lens and change it. Then now, once you are done with that phase, then now there's this small beast. I'll call it a small beast because it goes way professional, and it also serves on a commercial level. Like you can still use this for your home videos and everything, but then you can still use this on a bigger scale commercial level. Like you find, like currently this is the go-to camera for most what are they called, news reporters who are on the move. Okay, so those people who when an accident happens, just like this, they are there. They need to report something to the studio. Most of them normally have this camera, the X11, because it shoots you, it gives you full HD, which is really, really good for the Kenyan local television. Because then again, the quality on this is high enough so that in TV, they'll have to scale it down just a bit so that now it actually looks good for the screen. So that shows you the kind of quality that you get with this. And then the colors are mwah. And the sound. Just look at this. Just look at this detail. Okay. Just look at this detail. It gives you really professional settings when you're shooting video. Okay. So like when you see videographer setting up, this is normally what we normally do when it comes to the sound. And you can see you have the levels. You can select the levels, and then whether you're shooting with the inbuilt mic or you're using an XLR sort of a mic or a lapel. Then you can decide whether it's an internal mic, whether you want it auto to pick auto or you want it to pick manual, and those sort of things. And then also the noise reduction level that you want it to have. And here are the ports. So you still have got 2 ports for your XLRs. Now you notice that all these only have got a port for your microphone, like adjust the jack port at 3.5. This one also comes with that option, as well as a HDMI output. Okay, so it has got the audio option. Okay, I hope you can see. Let's try and move this a bit. Okay, so there you have your HDMI option, and then you have your jack, and then you also have your earphone option, and this will basically just, again, the scale of it. What I love about what Canon did with this camera is that they really made it compact enough for you to move around with this camera if need be, as if they actually, because it came out during the COVID time. And the advantage is that it gives you really, really good clear images, gives you professional images, such that you can actually use this to shoot a short film. You can use this to shoot your family events. And like I said, videography is all about telling a particular story and what kind of story do you want. So like next week I'm going to have a guest. Yeah, I hope he answers the phone. So Jumba, this is for you. I hope you actually take up the call. So next week I'm going to be having a guest, and what we shall be talking about is him as a videographer and what it takes for him to be, and the advantages of video and the story behind it. Because at the end of the day, you need to be telling a story, and if and should you decide that you actually are very passionate or more passionate about something, like I began, it's what story are you telling and what problem are you solving? Because I believe in this world, everybody has got a purpose and a reason as to why they do what they do, and what problem are they exactly solving. Because if you're not solving a particular problem, then no mula. Okay. For example, you're having an event, you call Mr. Patrick. Hi Patrick, hi. I would need my event covered. Okay, so what am I coming to do? I'm actually coming to solve a problem. And the problem is you need to keep memories of what is happening now, so that in the next few days, few years, you can still open up your album, go through, have a look, smile as you remember exactly what happened. So even with your video, that's what you need to do. You need to take more images and solve more problems. And in this case, you need to have more memories of your family. And that's why I want this video to specifically just talk to those of you who are looking into getting video cameras for their social events. Please, I would advise you, please, by the mercies of God, please make sure you get a camera to record those moments. As long as you normally have events within the family circle, just grab yourself a camera. Grab yourself a camera, take photos, take videos, because that is all, those are the memories that you will keep. And I'm sure I'll get into trouble for this from wedding photographers, so let me just sip my water. Okay. Now, if you're planning a wedding and you need everything recorded, okay. Actually, let me rephrase that. If you're having a wedding, as a photographer, as a videographer, I think that the most important thing that you need to do is to spend a budget on good photos and good video, because everything else, once the day is over, will be gone. You know, after that day is done, all the food that you ate out, the deco that you did will be removed immediately the event is over. So if it's at 6, by 8 o'clock, nothing on the ground will be there. The ground that you hired, the next client will be there. But then what will you go home with? After you've come back from your honeymoon, what is the one thing that you're going to remain with? The footage, the photo, and the video. So, people, think through this, okay? I know it's an emotional time and everything and all that, after all that is said and done, but the truth still remains as the truth. The only thing that you're going to remain with after whatever event has happened is the memories, the photo, and the video. So think about it. Get somebody from a family with one of the cameras just to record just a few things as the main camera guys are taking photos of the event. You as a family, you can just just take small clipettes. Okay, msingie kwa shots are the main photographer and videographer. But just take behind the scene. Like what the photographer was doing, what the videographer was doing, what people were taking. At the table, something for your TikTok, something for your Instagram, something for your Facebook. But please do record all this. Okay. Now, with that said and done, I can take your questions. So let's see whether we have got any questions. Okay, so I've got Rahim. Okay, so let's see what you guys are up to. Now, another thing is that I can never appreciate you, the audience, as you're looking or as you're watching, because you're actually taking time out of your busy schedule to join me, and we can learn this thing together. So thank you so much for taking time out and joining me as we talk about photos, as we talk about videography, as we see how best to solve any of these problems that we might be having. So once again, thank you so much for joining in. Okay. Now, in case, because I can't see any questions on that end, I hope we are actually learning something from this. And the other thing maybe I need to mention about photography is that once you have bought the camera, you need to invest in a tripod. Okay. You can start with an entry level sort of a tripod. Then as you build up to a more professional tripod, let me actually show you a tripod that I would advise you to get on a professional scale. So for those of you who are in charge or those of you who shoot documentary and everything, so let me just ask Kafa Shia to help me with that tripod so that they can have a look at what I'm talking about. Now the advantage of this tripod is that it's very, very stable. Two, you can actually adjust it depending on the terrain that you are in. So this is a Serui SH25. Okay. As you can see, it's really bulky. Well, that's for one. And then two, it can go up to a height of almost 2 meters. So if you are at a gathering and say you are basically just change this and fit it. So depending on the type of thing, so even if you're shooting an event or you're at an event, a church function or whatever, and you have got this tripod, be guaranteed everything is sorted. The other advantage of this tripod is that you can actually balance this thing, and it's normally a spirit level at the top, so you can actually make sure that even if the tripod isn't straight, even if your ground level is all the way jumbled up, you can still set such that your camera head is actually very well balanced at the top. And then it also has what we call a fluid head. So what this does is that it helps you when you're panning. Okay. So with this, it has got the plus and the minus. So if you put it on the plus, okay, it means it is actually stiff. So meaning you actually get a very slow pan. Okay, depending on what you're shooting. And then if you minus it, then now the fluidity is actually really fast. So you can actually pan like way fast. So this is something I just thought I should mention. And then if you're going to be, let me show you this. Here we go. Yeah. And let me see. Like you can actually even place and actually know, like the last shoot I was shooting this, and this is where I had placed my camera at either 20 or this plus 20 or minus 20 or at 0. So you can actually replicate the same exact positioning that you had the previous time for the sake of continuity, because when you're shooting film or when you're doing a lot of documentary, continuity is one of the most important things. Continuity is what we normally call, like the flow of the story, so that you do not jump from one part to the other. And then the advantage of the free head is that even if you leave it, it will always come back to its 90-degree positioning. As you can see, it's setting in. Okay, you can see it coming to position. Okay, it is slowly coming to its position. Okay, but you can definitely just change the speed so that immediately it's done, it just easily sets. So that is the advantage of this head. And yeah, so from here, this is the flow in, and then you can change this. If you are right-handed or left-handed, you can basically just remove this from this side, and let me actually just do that practically. So you can remove this from this side, and then you put it on this side. Okay, so if you're left-handed or right-handed, you're covered. You are covered. Okay, let me just make sure that this is tight. Use this hand so that you can see. Okay, so there you go. So then you can put it somewhere around there. And you're good to go. And then the other advantage of this is that you can actually add extra things. Let's say you need a charger for the light that you have on top. You can actually just put in the threads, you put it there, and you set even here, same thing. You easily just put in, let's say, like your light, external mic. Basically, you can add on anything that you need to make your shoot work and go perfectly. So this is a tripod I would advise, especially for heavy commercial work. This is a tripod I would go for. But then again, like I said, this is entry-level heavy commercial. If you really want, like a big name, a name that you can stand by, there's always Manfrotto, there's always Liebeck. You can always get those as options to tripod. But then this is a good entry-level commercial tripod before you start budgeting for over 100 plus on a tripod. This is a good tripod to start with at around 25,000-30,000. You have a very good tripod, very stable. You can go with it wherever and still look very professional. Amazing height clearance. So good levels. Now, in case we don't have any questions on this, let me just give you a recap of what I said about these cameras. Is that if you are going to start video shooting, okay, or you want to become a videographer and you're looking to start it and you're not sure where to start, basically you just need a video camera for starters, and then now the rest comes in the skill level and all that. But what you need to know is that you need to start it at ground level, and there's no better place to start it other than at your family events. So for family events, for your outings and all that, Sherehe na Mabeste, Naivasha, Mombasa, this is a good camera to start with. Will serve you perfectly and will give you amazing zoom power. Okay, this is the Nikon Coolpix B500 going for for 30,000 plus VAT. Perfect. Gives you the option of taking photos, videos, and even landscape, and basically all of those smart things that you really don't, as a beginner, you really don't want to think about when you're starting to shoot. That this camera sorts you on all that. Then the second one is this 2000D Canon, very good entry-level camera as well as video camera. It gives you both. You basically get to enjoy both of both ends. And the advantage of this is that, unlike this one, which doesn't come with its own rechargeable battery, this one comes with its own rechargeable battery, which you can easily buy a second one in case you want to go, let's say, for a long weekend and you're not sure whether the place that you're going with has got power. You can easily get replacement battery for this. This one you definitely need to carry like a lot of many other batteries to have you sorted. Then we have got this amazing, like almost looks like a point and shoot, but isn't a point and shoot, and gives you the option of changing the lens, interchangeable lens, gives you the option of shooting really smart photos, really smart videos, and you really don't need to think so much about the settings, because it gives you that option of just letting the camera decide on what exactly settings to put, so you don't really need to bother yourself about what ISO should I shoot in, what aperture should I shoot in, what shutter speed should I be shooting at, and all of those Greek words that most people do not even understand in the beginning, but then once you're into it, then you start understanding them, and then you can change them. Then now we have got this amazing camera. Perfect beginner and on the move sort of a camera. Perfect for, like you are either on location videographer. Kanini, I hope unasikia hiyo. So this is good when you're on location and you're shooting on the move. Also, if you're shooting it for the church, if you're doing live streams, short live stream events, live stream for whatever function it might be, this is a very good camera. Comes in at a really low price of 103,000 plus VAT. The advantage of this is that it shoots in full HD, and unlike all these others, it can shoot continually for over 3 hours, depending on the size of the memory card. The rest, after 29.59 seconds, you have to press record again because it actually stops recording then. So this is a good camera for those of you who have now, you've either decided to jump through all this and gone to this, or you're just starting out and you want something good that you can actually use commercially and make a few shillings here and there. So this is a good camera to have, and you're on the move. So, having no any other question, thank you so much. I hope you tune in next week, because next week I want to have a very good videographer, and then he's going to be telling us more about videography and what it takes and how his journey has been. So, until next week, from Cameras Africa's shop, adios.